Here's some more completing the square. I've already done the last one. I've done number 8, x squared plus 8x plus 19 equals negative 3. And I said if you can do the last one, you can do all of them. So let's see if my high school algebra teacher was right. Can I now do all of them? Okay, here's number 1. I'm going to zoom it in so I can see it. K squared minus 2k minus 15 equals 0. Hopefully you wrote down the steps. Step 1, get the constant to the other side of the equation. So I'm going to add 15 to both sides. K squared minus 2k equals 15. Step 2, take half of the coefficient of the non-squared term. Half of negative 2 is negative 1. Put it in parentheses with the variable and square it. And then whatever that half of the coefficient of the non-squared term is, square it. Negative 1 squared is 1. And add it to the other side. And again, if that had come out to a negative number, well, it would never come out to a negative number because a negative number squared is a positive number. So k minus 1 squared equals 16. Now I'm going to square root both sides. K minus 1 equals, this is when the plus or minus comes in, square root of 16. Square root of 16 is 4. Then I'm going to add 1 to both sides. K equals 1. I'm adding 1 to both sides, so plus 1, 1 plus or minus 4. You can, well, usually when there's just numbers, just combine them. 1 plus 4 is 5, and 1 minus 4 is minus 3. So those are your solutions. K equals 5, K equals minus 3. If you want to, and I'll do it for one of the later ones, you can write this equation into something like Symbolab or Wolfram Alpha to check it. You can't cheat on homework. Make sure you've done it right so that you're not steering yourself into the wrong direction. All right, let me try this next one. I move it because they never give enough room. For me, especially with bad eyes, I have to write, or I have to have this zoomed in. Okay, r squared plus 12r plus 4 equals 0. I will subtract 4 from both sides so I can get the variable, or not the variable, the constant on the other side of the equation. So that's negative 4. And I'm taking half of that, half of 6. I'll do it the long way this time, just so it's clear everything that's being done. 6 squared is 36, so technically this is r squared plus 12r plus 36 equals, and then I add 36 to the right side as well, so I maintain the balance of the scale. If I add 36 to the left side, I have to add 36 to the right side, so I keep the balance, even Steven. 36 minus 4 is 32. Now I have to factor this, but it's just r plus 6 squared, because the factors of 36 that add to 12 are 6 times 6. 6 times 6 is 36. 6 plus 6 is 12. So take half of the coefficient in the non-squared term and just put it in the parentheses with the variable. And that still equals 32. Now, square root both sides. R plus 6 equals plus or minus square root of 32. I think square root of 32 has a perfect square factor. 16 times 2 is 32, and 16 is a square root, or a perfect square. Square root of 16 is 4, so this is plus or minus 4 square root of 2. Then I'll subtract 6 from both sides. R equals negative 6 plus or minus 4 square root 2. And at this point, you can leave it like that or write it separately. Negative 6 plus 4 square root 2, negative 6 minus 4 square root of 2. That's what r equals. So you can make the answer like that. You can make the answer like that. Now, here, I'll plug this one. I'll type this one into Symbolab. R squared plus 12r plus 4 equals 0. Where is Symbolab? R squared. What did I do with Symbolab? Here it is. R squared. Now, I've already forgotten what I'm supposed to type. This becomes impossible. R squared plus 4r. R squared plus 12r plus 4. Always check your work when you're doing homework. You cannot cheat on homework. You want to make sure you're getting the right answer so that you're doing the right thing. So notice it says Oh, it just factored a 2 out. Okay, I was really looking at this. This is 4 squared root of 2 minus 12 and negative 4 square root of 2 plus 6. Oh, yeah, okay. So they just factored for symbol lab, it just factored out a 2 or a minus 2. But if you look at this, 2 times 2 square root of 2 is 4 square root of 2. 2 times minus 3 is minus 6. It's minus 6 plus 4 square root of 2. Minus 2 times 3 is minus 6 minus 4 square root of 2. So those are the answers that I got. Took me a second to realize that. All right, there's a second one. Let's do number 3. I'm just doing all of them. I said if I could do the last one, I could do all of them. And I'm trying to prove if that's right. I'll just go down here for this one. It doesn't say where I have to do all of them. I can do them wherever I want. All right, I'm going to get the variable, or not the variable, get the constant to the other side. So v squared minus 10v equals minus 23. I just subtracted 23 from both sides. And I take half of the coefficient in front of v, that's negative 5. I put it in the parentheses with the v minus 5 squared. I square that half of the coefficient of the non-square term, that's 25. And then I add it to the right side. 25 minus 23 is 2. Square root both sides, v minus 5 equals plus or minus square root of 2. And then I add 5 to both sides. V equals 5 plus or minus square root of 2. You can leave it like that or write them separately. 5 plus square root of 2, 5 minus square root of 2. Either way. All right, that's that one. V squared minus 10v plus 23. Let me do the next one, number 4. P squared plus 14p plus 8. We're just doing them one after the other. I'm doing them one after the other. You're watching. P squared plus 14p plus 8 equals 0. I will subtract 8 from both sides. P squared plus 14p, 8 minus 8 is 0, equals minus 8. Half of the coefficient of the non-squared term is 7. So I'm going to put that in parentheses with the variable, and I will square it. And then I'm going to square that 7 and add it to the other side. 49 minus 8 is 41. Take the square root of both sides. P plus 7 equals plus or minus square root of 41. I don't think 41 is a perfect square, nor does it have any perfect square factors. Now I will subtract 7 from both sides. P equals negative 7 plus or minus square root of 41. I can write them separately. Negative 7 plus square root of 41 and negative 7 minus square root 41. That's what P equals. So either way, and now I've messed up that answer. Either way, it is good. All right, that was number 4. Let's do number 5. Not too many more to do here. It's looking good so far. If I could do the last one, I could do all of them. Was 8 the last one? Yes, I've only got a couple more to do. Let me do this one. Down here, I give myself plenty of room. V squared minus 14v minus 26 equals 6. I'm going to add 26 to both sides. V squared minus 14v equals 26 plus 6 is 32. Then I'm going to take half of the coefficient of the non-square term as minus 7. I'll put it in the parentheses with the variable and square that. And then I will square that 1/2 of the coefficient of the non-square term, that's 49, and I will add it to both sides. 49 plus 32, 11, 3, 4, 8 is 81. Now I take the square root of both sides. V minus 7 equals plus or minus square root of 81, which is plus or minus 9. Then I shall add 7 to both sides. V equals 7 plus or minus 9, which equals 7 plus 9 is 16. 7 minus 9 is negative 2. So those are my answers, 16 and negative 2. That was number 5. Let's do number 6. We've only got 2 more. And if I do these 2 more, then I have proven if you can do the last one, you can do all of them. The last one I did in the previous video. Okay, here's number 6. A squared plus 16a plus 88 equals minus 9. I will subtract 88 from both sides. A squared plus 16a. And I'm subtracting 88. Negative 9 minus 88 is negative 97. Are you kidding? Negative 97. I think that's right. Now, half of 16 is 8. So this is going to be a plus 8 squared equals, and then 8 squared is 64. So I'll add that to the right side. Negative 97 plus 64 is 33, negative 33. Take the square root of both sides. A plus 8 equals the square root plus or minus the square root of negative 33. If I have a negative inside of a square root, I must make that into an I. So it's plus or minus I times square root of 33. Because remember, square root of negative 33 equals square root of negative 1 times square root of 33. And square root of negative 1 is I. Excuse me. I had to cough. So that's I square root 33. A lot of times that's written as square root of 33, excuse me, times I. Make sure you make it clear that the I is not inside that square root. And now I subtract 8 from both sides. A equals minus 8 plus or minus I. Well, I'm going to write it the other way. Plus or minus square root 33 I. One moment. I'll try drinking some water. Let's see if that helps. It didn't help. Negative 8 plus or minus square root of 33i. If I want to write them separately, I can write negative 8 plus square root 33i, negative 8 minus square root 33i. And that's a equals both of those things. All right, that is number 6. Only one more left. And then I will have proven my high school algebra teacher correct. If you can do the last one, you can do all of them. Let's put this one here. Step 1, I'm going to move that 88 to the other side. I'm subtracting 88 from both sides. M squared minus 16m equals negative 88 minus 4 is negative 92. I thought I did this one already. Hold on. Oh, I was looking at number 6, which was very similar, 97. Okay, I didn't already do this. Take half of the coefficient in front of the non-squared term, that's negative 8. Put that in parentheses with the variable and square it. Square the minus 8. Negative 8 squared is 64. Add that to the other side. Negative 92 plus 64 is 8. Negative 28. Okay. Now I'm going to square root both sides. M minus 8 equals plus or minus square root negative 28. And I have to rewrite that as plus or minus square root 28 times I. So I can change what's inside the square root to positive by putting an I on the outside. And now I will add 8 to both sides. M equals 8 plus or minus square root of 28I. 28 does have a perfect square factor. 4 times 7 is 28. And the square root of 4 is 2. So this is equal to 8 plus or minus 2 square root of 7i. And if I want to write that as two separate solutions, 8 plus 2 square root of 7 I. 8 minus 2 square root of 7I. So I said it in the last video, and my high school algebra teacher, I think it was algebra 2, his name was Mr. Lasky. I proved him right. If you can do the last one, you can do all of them. I just did all of them.